Nanotechnology, the branch of science that deals with the manipulation of individual atoms and molecules. When the word is first heard, many assume that it is a thing of sci-fi or from some Hollywood movie. But no, it is here and it is revolutionizing the way that we see present and future medicine. Today, I plan on informing you on some of these various uses and the various challenges that also come about with using such a technology. Ever since its development, it has been important to both the medical and biological community. Despite going mainstream, a lot of people actually don't know what it is and how involved it actually is in our life. As someone who personally comes from a family that does have family members that are working in this field of study, I can say with certainty that nanotechnology offers very unique solutions and very unique challenges to problems that were once deemed unsolvable. In order to get a better understanding as to how nanotechnology is being used, the best place to start is, ironically, with cancer. Since its development, nanotechnology has been at the forefront of cancer diagnostics and research. According to an article by Feroz Alam, a nanotech researcher at the Al-Ghraib Muslim University, nanotechnology allows for quicker diagnosis of cancer. By default, nanotechnology has the ability to be chemically attracted to cancer-causing agents. This is known as selective tagging, which isolates individual atoms, molecules, proteins, and even DNA. When a target has been selected, these nanoparticles kind of bunch up in order to simplify it, and allows doctors to make proper diagnosis at the same time without the risk of having a misdiagnosis, as although the problem is very small, it's still there. Nanotechnology can also be made to give a diagnosis itself to the doctor, making the process a lot faster and less grueling for both doctor and patient. They also have something known as dual modes, which allows for imaging on multiple different equipment. They can be equipped with things like MRI scans, PET scans, and CTs. According to the pharmaceutical chemist Anna Petrima, nanoparticles equipped with these things like MRIs and PET scans, it allows them to take very precise imagings of cancer cells and even take pictures of cancer of the cell that traditional MRI scans and PET scans normally don't detect. When it comes to treatment, the size that nanotechnology operates makes them very good for drug delivery. If you haven't guessed from the name itself, nano means really, really small. So small, in fact, that according to an article titled Benefits of Nanotechnology, they are so small that the immune system itself cannot even detect them. This allows them to enter and leave cells without damaging the cell, without having to be held back by certain processes that the cells has in place to allow such things to occur. Nanocarriers, a special type of nanoparticle that specializes in drug delivery, is currently being used to actually give full dosages of medication. A common problem with medication is that the immune system tends to filter out a lot of these medications before you get a full dosage. The reason for this is that the immune system is trying to protect the brain from having toxic levels of these type of substances. Because nanoparticles are so small, they can go into a cancer cell, deliver the full dosage of a medication, and we don't have the risk of having it leak out into your bloodstream and affecting other parts of your body, unlike conventional methods like chemotherapy, which tend to attack both healthy and unhealthy tissue. Moving on to the second application, this comes in the form of genetic modification. Although we're not exactly here yet, at least at the scale that we deem genetic modification is, an early form of this comes in the name of the clustered regularly interspaced short palindromic repeats, or as many of us know it as CRISPR. What CRISPR in short is molecular scissors, which allows them to cut, modify, and replace genetic material. An article by Michael E. Consumano, when it comes to genetic diseases, CRISPR-based technologies allows for better gene therapy. Although this is a little bit trickier with grown humans, embryos, however, can undergo genetic therapy that allows them to rid themselves of genetic diseases before they actually have the chance to emerge and truly affect the person's life. Human enhancement also begins to peer its head in this category. The immune system in particular benefits the greatest out of this type of technology. Although the human immune system is a force to be reckoned with, it still has its limitations, obviously, if we have diseases like cancer emerging. By using CRISPR-based nanotechnology, we can genetically modify what a lot of people call as the perfect immune system. Over the course of your human life, you are exposed to many diseases, and your body has processes that are used to memorize and defend against said diseases. The problem with this is that you actually have to expose yourself to it first, and this is where nanotechnology comes in. We have actually managed to modify immune system cells that actually have all of these diseases memorized, although it's in a very early state, and whenever these diseases come in contact with it, it already knows what to do. It doesn't have so it already knows what to do, so you don't have to suffer, typical first symptoms of these diseases. And especially when it comes to things like measles and polio, things that are starting to see a comeback, we can completely eradicate them since the immune system already knows how to defend itself against them. Although nanotechnology does offer many unique solutions for treatments for human health, it also brings about a new challenge, that being nanotoxicity. According to an article titled "The Uncertainty of Nanotechnology," written by Richard A. Candy, the first problem with nanotechnology, ironically, comes from its very own size and surface area. This is a little bit complicated to explain, so here's an example, an analogy that I'm going to use with a ball in a pool. When you throw a ball into a pool, you see that it floats and only the bottom part is in contact with water. However, when you push a ball completely into a pool, you see that the entire surface of the ball is in contact with the water. This is what makes nanotechnology potentially dangerous. Because of the size that they operate in, certain materials actually become more radioactive. And since you're putting them directly in contact with other chemical agents that could possibly make them reactive, this can cause a lot of cellular damage if not fixed. Another problem with it is obviously buildup in the body, like anything else. If nanotechnology does end up building up, it can potentially cause damage to things like cellular structures like the cell membrane and DNA. Particularly DNA is more important for the fact that it's what allows our species to grow and reproduce. If these particles begin to build up, let's say in humans, for example, this could lead to problems like birth defects, infertility, and psychological issues. This concerns full-grown adults as well, because your cells need to constantly reproduce to obviously allow you to grow, and it can lead to terminal decline. In summary, nanotechnology offers both new solutions and challenges to pre-existing medical problems. Nanotechnology helps with faster, more efficient ways of cancer screening and technology, and can help get rid of genetic diseases before they even have the chance to emerge. Although they do seem all good, nanotechnology has a problem with buildup in the body and can cause severe damage due to reactability. All in all, although we don't know the predictability of nanotechnology, what we can say with certainty is that we can build a better future one atom at a time.